Are you frustrated that your boss determines how much money you make? Thinking about starting a side hustle? Well, I'm going to show you in this video how to keep your 9-to-5 job and get your first side hustle off the ground and land some high-paying clients. You see, if you watch the rest of my videos, you may see me dressed like this, but this is my 9-to-5 job. When I'm not working my 9-to-5, I'm doing side hustles and I'm dressed more like this. You see, the way I'm dressed now is my side hustle version. Yeah, I do the 9-to-5 job. The reality is, just to give you an idea of the figures, that my 9-to-5 pays me around about 1/5 of what I get from my income, total income. And the rest is made up of side hustles. And those side hustles then compounded. I learned new skills, and then I created new side hustles where I invest in different businesses. So what I'm actually saying here is that there's no need for you to quit your 9-to-5 job. You can still create more income just by starting out somewhere. And the first place that you start out is by landing just your first clients. Now, the actual skill in this is that you don't need to go and learn new skills. You can start today. You can use the skills that you have in your 9-to-5. And as long as you're a little bit further ahead than somebody else, those skills are useful. I'm going to show you how you can start to land some clients just by using the skills that you already have. So the first thing you need to know is know your audience. Who are they? Where are they hanging out? What are their biggest aspirations? You see, you can't help somebody if they don't have any sort of aspirations or direction where they want to go. Look at your skill set and think about who is it that you can help? Who are these people? Understand the demographics. Think about where do they want to get to? What sort of things are blocking them? What did you do along your journey? Think of some stories. What sort of stories can you tell of where you were stuck once, had big goals that you wanted to reach, and what you did to overcome them? Now, that what you did to overcome them could have took you 5 or 10 years in learning that experience. That is where the magic is. That 5 or 10 years that you've got, you are the world's best kept secret. Now, there could be other people out there on YouTube or selling programs, whatever it may be. But the reality is most people just want to get to the next step. For instance, I've got something called the 100K Club to help people get to 100K. A lot of people out there are talking about how to make millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions, even billions. Now, that's not fucking useful for somebody who isn't hitting 100K yet. So it's very similar to you guys. If you find your audience and understand exactly where they want to get to and their aspirations, you can help fill that gap. So just remember this. People don't buy what you do, but they buy what they're left with after they're working with you. So just remember that. Make a note on that. Write that down. People don't buy what you do, but they buy what they're left with after you're finished with them. Okay? Let's move on to chapter 2. So the second point is you need to become more visible. There's no point being the world's best kept secret. Figure out where these people are hanging out, and then how do you become visible to them? Are these people professionals on LinkedIn? Are they on social media? Are they hanging around in some network group? For instance, there's BNI. BNI is a networking group, a breakfast networking group. And the people in those groups tend to be either SMEs or smaller. So individuals, solopreneurs that are trying to get their small business off the ground. So if your audience was that, then it would make sense to start being in front of them. There is no such thing as flying under the radar. You need to become visible. People ask me, Lewis, because I mentor a lot of businesses, the people that I've helped in the past, they come to me and they say, Lewis, could you give me some help? What have you done to become more visible with your company as you go along? I'm thinking about starting a website. What should it be on there? And I'm like, well, the first step isn't to start a website. That is the old way of thinking. It's just about chunk it up. How do you become more visible? Yeah. How do you become more visible? And the way you do that is through consistency, showing up more often. So there's no such thing as flying under the radar. So number 3 is figure out how you add value to people's lives. Understand people's pain points. Like I said in the first point, know your audience, but deeper now. Think of it like you're investigating what that person is about, understanding their pain points. Get a good set of stories that you can do that then demonstrates that like you are relatable to them. So let's say your audience was to help people grow on social media. Then you could tell a story about how long you was trying to grow on social media and all the things that you did wrong. And now you help people. You could even tell stories about people that you've helped in the past, even though they may not be clients yet, because this is about landing your first client. You can talk about how you helped a family member or how you helped your previous company. See? So stories are everywhere. The challenge is that you're just not thinking about it. And then people, again, They are scared to actually flaunt their skills. So if you've got those skills, why not use them? So remember this. I've got this written down here and I'll read it out to you. It's quite a long quote, but I want you to walk away with this. You only need to know a little bit more than the other person in order to add value to their lives. So just help them move forward a little bit. You don't need to go a huge step forward. Just remember, inch by inch, life's a cinch, but by a yard, it gets hard. If you can help someone just move forward by an inch, then who knows? That inch might be the thing that's blocking them from greatness. So number 4, I'm going to list these out for you. I've got them written down. I do my pre-work, by the way. So this isn't just me rambling off on a YouTube video like you may see on other channels. I have done pre-work to this. It's actually written down. In fact, there's an ebook around it. I'll share the ebook at the end so you can get all this written down as well. So number 4 is making a list of your potential buyers. Think about who are the dream people that you would want to work with. And there's some magic in this, right? There is some magic in this. Because if you think of who it is that you want to be working with, then you may not get to work with that person. Let's say you want to work with Elon Musk. Well, what is it about Elon Musk's companies that excite you? Then you will find similar companies. So get a pen and paper and start writing down who are the people that you would be your dream 100 people to work with. Because what this will do is start to lead you towards those people. You see, if your mind is not set for that person and that direction of the people that you want to work with, then you'll just end up with the wrong people anyway. And you could be marketing, you could be trying to sell to somebody, you could be offering the greatest thing ever. And if they turn around and say no, it means that your product wasn't right for them, not that your product isn't right for everybody. So you need to be clear on who those dream people are. Then just to go down the list then, places where you can start to find these potential buyers. Ask your friends. Do you know anybody in the industry? Let's say if it was Elon Musk, not do you know Elon Musk, of course, but do you know somebody that is in the IT or tech industry? Yeah, you can go and ask all your friends about that. Who do you know that could be in the tech industry? So if you've got like some IT skills, for example, you could help somebody that wants to get into tech or into IT. Yeah. So rather than watching some YouTube channels or listening to podcasts, they can have a mentor. Then you can charge for that mentoring, because if you help them get paid more in their job, then guess what? It's worth something, isn't it? You're helping them progress in their career, just like this podcast is. Yeah. Even steal some of the stuff in this podcast if you want to, this YouTube video. I keep saying podcast, it's a YouTube video. Steal the stuff in this YouTube and then go and use these tools to help people grow. I'm happy with that. Steal everything. In fact, again, when I share the link for the ebook at the end, it's all in there. You can then go and start helping people out and charging for it. So there's one way. Who else do you ask? You ask your friends. You've asked your friends. Now you ask your friends' network. So go onto your friends on LinkedIn and look at their network. Hey, Bob, I see you're connected with Sarah at Tesla or eBay, whatever it may be. And then you can start to go, well, could you make an introduction? Because I think I could help this person, blah, 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 blah. I'll show you how to do the rest later on. Who else could you ask? Your family members, your family's network, your professional network, people you've worked with in the past, people that have left and joined other places. Hey, I've seen that you've left and joined this place. Tell me about the company. Remember how I helped you with this? Are there any other people in your company that could do with some help? You look, I'm just starting out. I could do with some great testimonials. So I'll do it for you half the price right now. Not that you need to, by the way. I'll show you in other videos, by the way, how you price your structure and how you do that sale. But for now, you just need to get started, land that first client. So I'm giving you some examples. It all depends on how confident you are around that. And again, I do videos on this too. So subscribe to the channel and you'll see more videos on how to get better sales and be more confident. Who else can you ask? You can ask your network's network. So again, if you've worked with these people, you can go onto LinkedIn, search these people, and guess what? You can say, could you make an introduction to this? So your connections are your customers if they refer you. So anybody who refers you, people think customers need to be the actual person that's getting the product or service from you. Think of it differently. A customer can also be somebody that pays you by giving you some work from somebody else. Does that make sense? So you take a friend and then the friend knows their friend, that friend pays you. Who's the actual customer? They both are. Treat people that are referring you as actual customers. What does that mean? Look after them. Think about your acquisition cost. What does that mean? Cost of acquisition could be if you spend $1,000 on Google advertisements or on Facebook ads, and out of that $1,000, you got one customer, then one customer costs you $1,000. And by the way, if somebody refers you, how likely are those people to sign up? If they're being warmed up by somebody that they know, like, and trust, then that referral is most likely going to be a lot higher to convert, to become, what I mean by convert, I'm using business terminology now. They are most likely to become a customer of yours. Okay? So what would you rather spend? $1,000 on a customer from Facebook ads that might become a customer, 10% chance, or $1,000 to your friend then may give you a 90% chance of conversion? I know where I'd rather spend my money. So there's nothing wrong then with saying, hey, look, I've got a referral program in place. If this person signs up, I'll give you $100, $500, $1,000. In fact, that's how you also attract people into your business as well. But again, I must slow down. My coach for YouTube, coach, he says, look, you need to slow down, Lewis. You've got so much information, just give it to you straight. So if I do go down that, then tell me if I'm going too fast. Leave a comment in the YouTube comments below. Here's the quote for chapter 4 is, your greatest customer is already in your network. You just haven't asked them to refer you yet. Does that make sense? So think about that. They're out there. You're just not asking enough. Yeah, you're not asking for people to refer you work enough. Chapter 5, create a Mafia referral offer. So what is a Mafia referral offer? Yeah, I just see my video editor now. He's going to be like putting like a mafia face on me, etc. when I talk about this. A Mafia offer is an offer that you cannot refuse. What does that mean? It's just an absolute no-brainer. You can do this, and this is really good when you're working with competitors as well, or working against competitors. You know, they've got the next thing in their sleeve, and you just go bang, and you bring out your Mafia offer, and they cannot compete with it. So a Mafia offer is something that nobody else can use, so they will find it very hard. Large companies struggle competing with Mafia offers because they have no flexibility. For example, if you said to somebody, well, for every day that this doesn't work, I will give you your money back. I'll give you 10% back until your money's back. So I've got skin in the game. A large company, if you try to do that with Walmart, they would say, yeah, fuck you. There's no way that, having that idea, Mr. Marketing Executive, Sales Executive, you'd have to go through a whole C-suite of people because it's going to have a big impact. So smaller companies have a lot more leverage, but they just need to think about it strategically. And again, if you do own a company and want to have some of those discussions with me, or some of the people that I work with, then just drop me a message on LinkedIn or Instagram or on the socials, and we can talk about that. That's not the point of this video, though. It is to get you your first high-paying side hustle client. When you're looking for these people, don't make it about the money. Position it with heart. So when you go and speak to a friend, chapter 4 is about finding those people in your network and referrals. This chapter 5 is about how you go and speak to them with this Mafia offer. Don't make it about the money, like, oh, I want to make some more money on the side, so can you refer me? No, do it because you're passionate about it. Now, do you have to be passionate about a side hustle? No, because sometimes, I'm not that passionate about doing admin work and all these accounting stuff, forget someone to do it. But at first, when I had to do it myself, it was like, oh, this is a pain. But you got to do it. I'm not passionate about it. But if I had to be passionate about it, I'd go, well, I'm not passionate about administration work, so I'm not going to do it. But you have to fucking do it. If you've got a side business, you have to. What I actually mean here is don't make it about the money, make it about your heart, is that be passionate about the product that you sell to people. Yeah. So you can be passionate about that. For example, I'm very passionate about creating these YouTube videos for you guys. So because I want to create 1,000, well, 10,000, but 1,000 to start with. 10,000 is my vision. 10,000 people that are doing 100K a year. And that's how I do it. Is to get on YouTube and I'll show you guys how to do 100K a year. If you're getting paid 30, 40, 50K in your normal job, then we just need to think of a side hustle that pays you the rest. It's that simple. I'm so passionate about it, it comes natural. So the way I'd refer this is, hey, do you know somebody that is struggling right now in their 9 to 5 that can't afford to pay the bills or want to get a bigger house for their kids and mortgage and can't go out on holidays, etc., etc. All this tightening in this economy is causing people to be stressed out. I can relate. I'm not talking about women and moms here. I'm sure they feel the pressure too. But as a dad and as a man in this world, then there's stuff here that you're doing it for your family as well. Yeah, I feel that there's a responsibility. And my wife does too. This isn't a man or woman thing. I'm just saying it because I'm a man. As a parent, let's say, and me as a dad, we have to deliver. And when you can't take your kids on holiday that you've promised them for the last 5 years because of some financial stuff, then we don't point at the boss. We point and look inside. Yeah, when one finger points forward, 3 point back, you take ownership for it. And this is why these side hustles start to work out. So when I'm referring, I say, do you know anybody that could be struggling right now look, I've got this YouTube channel, share this video with them, share this stuff. And if they want to have a chat with me, yeah, that would be the step of the sales meeting. Then we'll have a discovery call and find out where they want to get to and what's good. What is a fair investment for them to make? You see, you need to know this stuff to make these conversations. This stuff has made me millions, by the way. I don't want to sit on here, I'm just a normal guy. This place that I'm recording is just a place in my house. I chose that because I want to be with my family. Family is one of my biggest values. I'm not saying this to gloat, but I'm showing this to demonstrate to you that it's possible. My side hustles make me millions. So why can't you? And I'm just talking to a camera right now and a laptop here and a light there. If you want to see my studio, comment in the box below and I'll show you what started to get me going. So why can't you? That's my passion. I honestly believe that everyone should be able to step into wealth. So this is the point. I know I'm going on a little bit chapter 5, but this stuff, I hope you're making notes because it is golden. We are going a little bit longer on it, but this is really important. This is the stuff that will help you break through. Again, I hear my YouTube coach in the back of my head going, Lewis, move on. You're going too deep. The podcast that I've got, by the way, does go deep. So if you want to go even deeper on this, go and listen to some of the podcast episodes. Know your client acquisition costs. We've been through this. Pay your connections instead. So again, if it's going to cost you $1,000 through Facebook ads, just pay your friends. Why not pay your friends? And guess what? You're helping them break through financial barriers then too. So all part of my vision. This helps people. Could be part of your vision. Yeah. And then you can teach this stuff too. It's not just up to me. The thing is, it's took me 15, 20 years to figure it out. I'm going to teach you in this video. You can save it for later, show your friends, and I'll save you 15 years. So the golden quote to remember for point number 5, you can have anything in life you want if you just help enough people get what they want. That was a quote from a guy called Zig Ziglar. It's not my own. Fantastic. Go and check him out. Chapter 6, you need to learn to close the client. Now, I've done videos in the past around closing and authentic closing. Go and give them a watch if you want to. These people, these sales trainers that you see, I don't need to mention any names. You know who they fucking are. They're on YouTube. They're probably popping up down the right-hand corner right now around sales. They're all, do or die sales. You must pin the client down and they must have a close. No, it's bullshit. That only works with a quarter of people's behavior. And if you put people into a quadrant, those very direct people, they may respond well to that. The other areas of people that need a little bit more time, people who aren't so confident, people who aren't extroverts, will need more time. So closing isn't about, get someone, pin them down, they make a decision, or you make them feel guilty that they need to go and do something crazy. It's not the point. If you do that with the wrong person, all you will lead to is buyer's remorse. So people make decisions to buy on 2 reasons: logic and emotion. If you just do logic, then you can confuse them and they need to go away and think about it. Yeah, if you just do emotion, which a lot of these people are doing, you'll close them, they'll go away and think about the logic and they'll go, fuck, I just got sold to and now it's too late. By the way, personally, I've done some of these training courses with some of the people that I'm not mentioning any names, but you can just imagine who they are. And the customer service has been absolute shit, to be honest, at the end of it. But hey ho, they closed me, right? There you go. Look, I'm here to tell you about the experience and I'm going to be real about it. Yeah. The lesson there is that different people have different personalities. The hard closing is not what you just need to do. So you don't need to be that pushy salesperson. And the reason this is really important is because a lot of people won't go into business because they think that they need to be a fucking pushy salesperson. They don't. I'm not a pushy salesperson. I can teach you all this. It is in my ebook. It's in the rest of the videos. I'll share the link with you later on. This thing about closing people down is you do need to be a closer, but you don't need to be a pushy closer. What you need to do is have a process that you take someone through that allows them to make an informed decision by the end of the journey. That's all it is. They need to make an informed decision logically and emotionally by the end of the journey. This is the right thing for them to move forward. If you don't do the process right, you don't educate the person throughout it, and there's so much education that you can take someone through that if you miss the steps, then you will get objections. And then you guess what? You end up objection handling. No, you handle objections. Write this down. You handle objections before they become an objection. What does that mean? If you know that one of your biggest problems is, oh, I need to go and speak to my wife or my husband, and that is the objection that they're leaving, then guess who should be in that meeting at the end? Or in the sales process? The wife or the husband. And it's your fault that you didn't ask for it, yeah, at the start. So the first meeting needs to be, who needs to be in this meeting to make an informed, emotional, logical decision? Ask penetrating questions. You've got to get really good at asking great questions, and this all needs to be in your sales process. I'll teach you how to do all this stuff in further videos and in the ebook. Sales is about helping the customer make an informed decision. So yeah, they've got to lead them to a point where you're following this process through, and you don't go down their journey, you go down your journey, because you are the professional. You've got a 9 to 5 day job. You know how to do it. Okay, you might not be a salesperson, or you might be a salesperson training salespeople online. That's okay. But the point here is that you've got this journey mapped out, and you just pencil it out to start with. If you've got a pen and paper now, just pencil it out. What are the 3 meetings that you have with them? You know, is it a quick sale product? Maybe you'll drop shipping. Well, still, the sales process needs to be in your marketing then. 80% of the sale today is done in the marketing, 20% in the actual closing, the sales. So it doesn't matter what you do, you need a sales process. And sometimes that sales process, is it sales, is it marketing? It's the same thing. If you're selling something to somebody, it's sales, yeah? In fact, a lot of things where you're generating a lead, yeah, it's still sales. You're just doing lead generation, and the actual part where you need the art of closing. By the way, sales isn't something you just go and learn and just replicate. That's like saying, yeah, I'm going to become an artist overnight just by reading some stuff and following some bullet points. It doesn't work like that. Sales is an art. You've got to learn the art. And to learn the art, you've got to have that canvas, and you've got to start putting some pen to paper or paint to paper, whatever it may be. I'm not an artist. Yeah. Sales artist, though. So you need to be a sales artist, okay? And regardless whether you like it or not, if you're doing a side hustle, you've got to sell. So get that bullshit out your head. Sales is not a bad thing. The way others are teaching you what sales is about is the bad thing. Do sales the way that I will show you in further content, and it won't even feel like selling. It won't even feel like selling. In fact, I've never really done sales in my life. All I do is ever coach people to a decision. And if it's wrong for them, it's not right for me anyway. So they were never the right client. Think win-win. So win-win model, it's in my ebook. You can download the ebook. It's in the description below. Get a copy of that ebook. It's a whole journal in there of all these things and topics. And check out the page in the description as well. There's a link and the page number that you need for the win-win model. And the way that works is that you've always got to be thinking win-win. What is the win for the customer, and what is the win for me? It's really important. This is really important. So it comes from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Okay, so that's a fantastic book, by the way. Make a note of that one for later. You don't need to go and read it. You can read it if you want to, but if you want to make sales and get your first clients and side hustle, you need to do this stuff. Yeah, so I take that context, that content, put it into context. What this means is that if you think of a quadrant, it'll show this in the ebook. Top left-hand corner, you've got win-lose. Yeah, bottom right-hand corner, you've got lose-win. Bottom left-hand corner, you've got lose-lose, and top right-hand corner, you've got win-win. If you're winning and they're losing, you're not going to keep the client for long, even if you are the world's best closer. Yeah, they won't hang around for long. And this is where I've been with some of the people's sales training. I signed up, and when it comes to renewal, no thanks, mate. It's okay. Yeah, you didn't deliver on what you said. It was just close. The bottom right-hand corner, lose-win, is where you could be the business or the salesperson, yeah, or you're getting your first client, let's say, for this context. If you keep lowering your price and go, oh, I'll do it cheaper, I'll do it cheaper, I'll do it cheaper. Never lower your price, by the way. Never lower your price, add more value. Talk about that in other videos. You'd be losing out by just to win the clients. I mean, I've had people I've worked with in the past that worked in, race car industries, for example, and some of the biggest companies out there in the, biggest supercar brands, they expect everything for a lot cheaper just because of their brand. Yeah, they're trying to get leverage. That doesn't work, does it? Because who loses? They might be winning then, but you're the one who's losing. So if any of you are losing, you're in lose-lose. Yeah, and you gotta remember that reality. So how do you get to a win-win? The win you have to position with your customer. So you have to tell them, as I mean by position, tell them this is the win that you will get by working with me. So if you are in your 9 to 5 day job right now, and you are a window cleaner or a plumber, you're working 9 to 5 as a plumber, there's stuff that you've learned over the last 5-10 years, you could help other struggling plumbers that are starting to get off the ground. So if the other struggling plumber, you spoke to them and they said, well, what are you struggling with? Well, they don't need the whole plan. They just need a bit of how do they get step forward? Maybe to get more customers. Maybe it could be to do stuff more efficient, what tools to use. You can help them by doing that. They're winning. But if you gave it all away for free and they knocked you down, etc. like that, you wouldn't be winning. What's the point? So you need to be clear that if they do start to knock you down, say, look, that's not a win-win relationship there. We can do that. Here's an example. If you ever bought a car and you think, hey, that's a real good deal. And then you say to the salesperson, yeah, so-and-so will do it down the road. Can you do it any cheaper? And they go, well, not really. But they end up doing it, yeah? And they knock $2,000 off or something. Then they will most likely have to make that money back somewhere on the line. And it will cross someone's mind, the manager's mind, that, yeah, do that, but then charge them more on their service. And you think about some car brands out there right now, they could offer like 5-7 years warranty, and it might seem amazing and it's a cheap car. But to get that 7 years warranty, what you actually have to do is you have to have 3 services a year at extra cost. You need to make sure that you only buy the tyres from us, the parts from us, or your warranty is void. You see there's lots of terms and conditions to go around it as well. And this is what a lot of companies do, is that it may seem like a good deal at first, or it may seem like a good deal for you if you just win the job. But in the long run, the more that you take that away, and you need to think about your own mini business here as well, a profit and loss, okay? Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. So if that profit goes below the line that you're actually paying them now, and a lot of people fall into this, yeah? A lot of people, 95% of people that start out will fall into this because they think they just need to get their first customer and they won't take their profit into mind as well. So look at all the goods that you buy and all the things that you need. Let's say if you was a plumber and then someone said to you, okay, well, rather than charging £1,000, charge £500, but then it cost you £600 in parts, then you're paying the customer £100. You get the theory of it? So always remember that. That's the win-win. And then you got to test to see if they're committed. We're still on chapter 6 here. Test to see if they're committed. Test the water and say, okay, look, if we had this in mind and we did this, is this a win-win relationship? Shall we move forward? How about we just try it? Yeah. How about we do this step and this, and this? There's ways of doing that. Again, we talk about it. So yeah, here is the ebook. If you want to close high-ticket clients, then go and get this. There's a chapter in the ebook about how to close high-ticket clients. Yeah, high-ticket clients, very high-ticket clients as well. So go and get that ebook. It's out. It's in the links below. Golden quote from that before we wrap it up is, the sales is about helping the customer make an informed decision. That's what I want you to take away from that. Sales is about the customer making an informed decision. Chapter 7, you need to build your sales confidence. How do you do that? You go out there and you practice. You get that canvas. Remember, sales is an art. You start just creating some art. So start speaking with more people. Write a script down. Write bullet points down. But Lewis, I don't want to come across all robotic and think, look, the only reason these people who call you sounding robotic is because they've probably been in that job 3 days, 3 weeks. Yeah? Because they have no other option. They've ended up in that job. They are not salespeople. They are just people repeating a script back. And then they may get sacked from that job because they're crap at sales and end up in another one where they've got to read a different script. It's not the point. The script is there for you to learn, not for you to read back to somebody. I'm reading from what could be a script right now if you want to, but it shows that I've prepared to give you value. If I was just fucking winging this, then you wouldn't be getting value. I'm giving you the bullet points of what I've learned over 20 years so you can do it in 20 months or 20 weeks, depending on how fast you go. So do have a script. Don't let anybody tell you that you don't need it. You do need it, but you need to learn it. Learn it well enough so that you don't sound like a robot. And then if you haven't got the script, it's a bit like having a McDonald's system where it's not all written down. If there is an improvement to make, then where do you put it into your system? You can't if it's not written down. And that goes for any system in business. You have to have a script. You have to write it down. It's not just about you sounding robotic. That's not the point. And if you think that, you've learned the wrong thing about sales. Okay? So watch more videos. Practice, practice, practice. Get that canvas out. Start doing. Training the art of sales. Keep reading, keep learning, keep watching the podcasts, listening to these podcasts and YouTube videos. And you've got to be around it, yeah? Mindset. I like it when I meet a good salesperson. Yeah, when I meet a good salesperson, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. And like, well, you're the easiest person to sell to. Yeah, because I understand sales and I understand where you're coming from. I get it. You don't need to keep going round and round in circles, mate. I get it. Yeah, you're wasting my time if you do, but I'm wasting your time. Let's get started. Yeah. That contagion effect, you give off confidence, and people buy confidence as well. Yeah. So logic and emotion, the emotion part of it, and we're going a little bit deeper now, is that contagion effect. And emotions are contagious. So if I'm feeling down and all gloom and doom, then you make other people feel like that as well. So people stay away from you. And it's the same in sales. If you're feeling unconfident as sales, people like back off from you. Okay. So the only way to get this is by having a go. So I have lots of videos on this as well. Again, on confidence, on mindset, on how you do this. You just need to be around it. You need to be learning it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, watch those videos, because they go into depth. They go into a lot more depth in the psychology around this sales stuff. People go, oh, you don't need to learn psychology. You need to do it. No, fuck. Psychology is everything. Psychology is the underpinning thing of everything. So you do need to learn it, and you need to understand that so you can understand people's behaviors. That's like saying you can't go and write a book because you need to learn your ABCs. Yeah. If you don't know the alphabet, then how are you going to write a book? So understanding that works better. So the golden quote for that, number 7, it's not what you do that will close the client, it's the way you think. So your mindset is contagious. Number 8 is leverage. You've got to get clients now on social media. Get them through social media. Where are they hanging out? Think about how do you get clients when you don't have to actually be there. Yeah, so you don't have to do one-to-one calls all the time. How do you get that to happen? And the way that is through being consistent on your social media channels, consistent with your referral process, having the system in place that causes you to get leverage. And then think about the platform that works best for you. So when you start building these systems, you need to test and measure it to see what works best. Now, as you're a 9-to-5 worker already, I presume, because you've watched this so far, you've got this far into the video, this is about you not having to quit your 9-to-5 job. Then I imagine that you have got some sort of profession or professional network. Where are they hanging out? If you was a plumber or something like that, then they would be on Facebook. If it was more about professionals in IT, for example, or anything executive, management, sales, marketing, then they're on LinkedIn. Getting really good at understanding LinkedIn would be a good step forward. So how do you do that? How do you reach out to people on social media? How do you get noticed? How do you get visible? And how do you do it so when you do reach out to somebody on LinkedIn that you don't know, it's not a cold invitation? You see, when I reach out to people on LinkedIn, they go, hey, Lewis, yeah, I've seen a lot of your stuff before. And when they actually come and see me, they say, well, a lot of people are on YouTube and Instagram and all these videos. A lot of people get scared to do a video, etc. And that's completely normal, by the way. I was there once upon a time, and show you how to get better at that as well. Not to say that I'm an expert, but you just got to go and do it, right? The outcome is I know that out of 99% of people out there, they're not doing this. 99.9% of people, they're not doing it and professional. So they're the world's best kept secret. And the way to do it is to get noticed on LinkedIn more, get visible. I've even had people sit in meetings with me like, hey, look, it feels like I'm on TV with you right now because I just used to watch you all the time on my phone or on my laptop. That's what you want to be doing. And there's a way to do that. So when you do reach out to somebody, it's warm and they are engaged. I've created a video for that. It's up here somewhere or over there, not too sure, depends where the editor puts it. That video will show you how to get your first client, second client, third client through LinkedIn. So go and check out that video now, and I'll catch you in that video.